Welcome to a forensic deep dive into the architecture of the invisible. This declassified investigation bridges the gap between ancient mysticism and modern hard science, applying quantum mechanics and cognitive theory to the mechanics of wizardry. By analyzing the Sigillum Dei Aemeth through a structural lens, we can map how sacred geometry serves as a foundation for energy flow. Notice the Prussian blue lines representing our structural analysis, while the deep crimson traces the active pathways used for consciousness modulation and resonance frequency. It is an intersection where historical symbols become functional, measurable technology. The old narrative that magic was merely a primitive stepping stone to science is now considered scientifically obsolete. Magic isn't failed science, it's a distinct participatory mode of engaging with the cosmos through the doctrine of correspondences. This paradigm shift has gained massive institutional weight. Since 2008, dedicated chairs at the University of Amsterdam, Exeter, and the Sorbonne have moved the study of Western esotericism from the academic fringe to the center of historical anthropology. Think of the Greek Magical Papyri not as religious scripture, but as the technical manuals of antiquity. These texts were tools for professional craftsmen, where spells functioned like scripts to be executed. Note the Voces Magicae, which served as acoustic keys, and the nomina barbara, essentially executable commands. In this system, power resides in the precise phonetic structure, not the meaning. If you translate the code, the spell breaks.
In ritual magic, authority isn't always petitioned, it's assumed. Through the process of divine identification, the practitioner steps into the role of the deity, declaring, "I am the truth. I am the lightning." Consider the rite of the headless one. While often mistranslated as the generic bornless one, it actually refers to Akephalos, the headless Osiris. The crucial mechanism here is that the wizard doesn't ask for permission. They become the god to authorize the exorcism. It is a complete transformation of identity to command spiritual power.
Iamblichus argued that pure philosophy alone cannot elevate the soul. Instead, he proposed theurgy as a precise physics for the spirit. Using the principle of sympathetic resonance, theurgists employ synthemata, material tokens like specific stones or herbs, to act as tuning forks. By vibrating with divine power, these rituals retune our internal soul vehicle, or okemapneuma. The ultimate goal isn't just intellectual understanding, but a practical alignment that allows the soul to receive divine illumination.
In the Renaissance, mathematics was seen as the bridge to the divine. Agrippa categorized this as mathematical magic, a framework that John Dee perfected through his Enochian system. By treating his occult tools as spiritual technology, Dee combined physical hardware with the software of a structured language. His goal was to create a systematic mathematical tool for opening 30 higher dimensions, truly embodying the role of the mathematician as magus.
Alchemists were the original masters of trade secrets, using deknomen or code names to hide their breakthroughs. For instance, the green lion devouring the sun was actually a forensic code for the powerful acid Aqua Regia. Consider the Bologna stone. Once celebrated as a magical trap for sunlight, it was actually the first synthetic luminescent material. By reducing barium sulfate with charcoal and copper impurities, early chemists unknowingly pioneered the science of phosphorescence, turning myth into measurable reality. When we examine the Abramelin operation through a Jungian lens, we see a grueling 18-month process of systematic ego stripping. This ordeal mirrors the transition from nigredo, confronting our darkest shadows, to rubedo, or the realization of the true self. However, this breakthrough is a high-stakes crisis. Without successful reintegration, the total removal of ego defenses risks permanent fragmentation and psychosis. It is a transformative journey that demands everything of the practitioner to achieve what is known as the knowledge and conversation of the holy guardian angel. Modern technomancy treats the subconscious as a system to be programmed. By taking a clear desire and compressing it into a graphic sigil, we create a symbolic code for the mind. Once this sigil is charged through gnosis, the final, crucial step is to intentionally forget it. This banishment allows the subconscious to execute the intent like a background process, free from conscious interference. In this framework, belief is simply a tool to be used and then discarded once the program begins. Your brain is a prediction engine, not a camera. Rather than simply recording the world, it constantly balances bottom-up sensory data against top-down expectations, known as priors. In the context of intense ritual, these expectations can become strong enough to override physical reality. The brain essentially hallucinates the expected magical result to minimize prediction error, a process further amplified as complex rituals exhaust our cognitive resources and increase susceptibility. Think of magic not as something supernatural, but as a sophisticated cultural technology for maximizing the placebo response. Through ritual drama, the practitioner signals to the brain that healing has begun. This triggers a powerful biological cascade, releasing endogenous opioids, increasing dopamine production, and boosting the immune response. Essentially, the wizard is an expert at hacking our biology to activate the body's own innate self-repair mechanisms. Can human intention actually influence the physical world? Decades of empirical data suggest a measurable bridge between mind and matter. At Princeton's Pear Lab, nearly 30 years of research demonstrated that human intention can nudge random events away from chance, with a significance of 1 in 10,000. Similarly, Dean Radin's work with the double-slit experiment shows a significant collapse of the interference pattern when participants simply focus on the apparatus. With a z-score of -4.36, these findings present a compelling empirical case for anomalous physics at the subject-object boundary. To understand generalized quantum theory, we must move beyond our traditional view of causality. We often imagine influence as a physical transmission of energy, like a spell being cast from a source to a target. However, Harold Wallach's theory proposes that this isn't a transmission of force at all. Instead, it is a form of entanglement within a global system. In this model, the operator and the target are acausally correlated. When intent shifts at point A, the target at point B correlates instantly. It is not a projectile sent through space, but a simultaneous shift within a unified whole.